Yeah, and for Wildcard, I do like their opener. Can't bring him up. The Tinker, we're all going to stay there and talk about the Tinker, but Clockwork DP, super
Mhm.
solid, super basic, just gets the job done, is going to fill that very similar fashion as it did in game one. But also the drafting strength of having this Death Prophet with last pick. We're going to be guessing, is it Sunlight? Is it going to be Bobatich? They're going to keep that flexibility up until their final pick. We're just going to have to wait and see.
In the meantime, regardless of its position, you see Wildcard starting to ban some of the offlane options. No Lycan, no Beastmaster there, so if they want to switch it, they're free to do so. If they don't switch it, they keep it in the off lane, then they are trying to kind of corner the market a little bit. So, a fair strategy for them. We'll see if they commit fully to it, though, because they could just, swing out, ban a support, ban a carry right now in phase 2 just to sort of stay safe, but do they feel like they need to, I guess is the question. Kind of, yeah. They'll ban the Tiny into the Silencer pick, so we were talking a lot about Silencer, right? In the earlier matches of this series, he had either been ignored or banned, but it will finally make an appearance.
Yeah, and of course, you have to weigh the silencer pick a little bit because now all your stuns so far are just on Clockwork. Your next two picks from Wildcard probably have to give you a little bit more guaranteed disable. But of course, always incredibly valuable versus Rubik. You press global. What does Rubik do? He sits there. He has to wait. It's where there really are no fast dispels for the hero inherently. It's not like you can steal any. It's like Lotus Orb is your best answer, but even that is going to come a little bit down the road. And same for Tinker, where very circumstantially, RCY can get his TP broken by the global silence. It's where you still have to have TP scrolls on Tinker just in case versus Silencer, because there are situations where you do get globaled while you're trying to use your Keen Conveyance, and then you can die because of the way that it works and because it's a spell. And Silencer isn't going to let you cast spells, even though DogChamp don't look to fix that problem just yet. Instead, they say, okay, well, if you're going to mess up our jump once we've got you, let's just make our jump as strong as humanly possible. So that's why they pick up the techies here. They are just doubling down on that first second of initiation and then worrying about the rest of the team fight maybe a little later.
True. And of course, we did see the techies earlier on, and he was very disruptive when he was able to jump in there. So, not guaranteed success, but certainly something we've seen them run in the past that has worked out pretty damn well. Now they get their frontliner. Now they get their tank, their setup. The Mars comes through for them, and yeah, you still kind of have to be concerned against the silencer when you run your Mars because your combo can be broken, but I feel like just the pure frontline presence here is going to be worth that risk.
Yeah, and I love it. Love it paired with Tinker. Knock down all the trees, create space, create even land whenever you go into these team fights. That's what Coliseum does. Just kind of works. You do have to be a little bit scared about how much damage you actually have. Of course, with Techies and Rubik,
Hmm.
I think the support duo is going to help them a lot, but it's where you don't have Mortimers. You don't have Kisses to throw into it. It's where that damage needs to land. You need to get the kill, and then you got to move on. It's where I think once Wildcard have a mech picked up on anyone, probably just going to be the Death Prophet, DogChamp need to evaluate how much burst they actually have or whether or not to involve RCY in a smoke or a pick involving the rest of the lineup. Because all it takes is one button press, one hood pop, one mech, and then you miss your initial kill, and then the global comes through, and then the team fight ends for you.
Yeah. Part of the downside, right? You talked about them trying to make that first second of initiation hit as hard as possible. Well, if it doesn't do the job, then what do? You run or you die. So, kind of awkward, but hey, they decided to play into it. They decided to lean into that strategy. So, got to try and make the most of it. But now for Wildcard, well, what do they want to do here? We were talking about the DP maybe switching up position. This might be the time where they have to sort of decide whether or not they want to do that. Do you think they go carry, or is there the chance they pick up a mid laner here?
Well, if they pick their carry here, they get to keep that guessing game going. So I can only imagine that's what they're deliberating right now, just seeing what Arc is going to want to play versus the Mars Techies lane. And really, there aren't too many heroes you really want to play just because it's a very annoying lane. Probably Naga is the easy one.
Mm.
And they decide to go in the other direction. They just say, pick up another silence, break up the combo more. Of course, the interaction with Gust versus Techies is that you will knock him out. The suicide damage doesn't land if you have vision of him. So that's kind of why they go for it here. And is a much more defensive hero. I think that an illusion carry might be slightly better versus the Mars, because of course you can make an illusion tank the spear and you can kind of mess up his combo there. But Drow is more directly an answer to that techies. So great pick.
Hmm. And I think we'd seen the Drow. I believe the Drow was actually banned out in both of the previous matches as well. So both teams knew how valuable it could be. Of course, the Drow may have some issues interacting with the Mars whenever the arena goes up, but I think Wildcard will cross that bridge when they come to it. They get a lot of damage and, as you said, a very versatile tool to deal with the techies jumping in. Now, though, well, DogChamp deciding pretty much that Bobatich is going to handle the DP again with the Night Stalker ban ET. They could still split the bans, but yeah, okay, never mind. They do exactly that.
Yeah, makes sense. There is versatility. There is movement. Movement that DogChamp doesn't have. In Slark,
Hmm.
okay. And Void Band. I think, again, the Void Band is probably easier. Yuma Void's kind of a thing that you got to be careful of. This does mean that the Morphling ekes
Yeah.
through, which is something to think about. But you're also saying to yourself, is he really going to want to do that versus Death Prophet? Is that really going to be the lane? Or is it just maybe Nature's?
Oh.
No. They dig up an older Yuma hero, something that he played a lot when CK carry was the meta, like many other CK players did, but has continued to polish this hero, especially in his pubs. Still pulls it out every once in a while, gives them a little bit more initiation, so really, I don't mind it all too much. Lane is a little bit miserable, but early
Hmm.
on, especially level 1, level 2, they've got a really great power spike, and of course, as we will talk about, the spam that comes from Chaos Bolt is still ever present. It's where a Death Prophet early on, if you're not careful, if you don't pace yourself out with those siphons, could get taken out pretty easily.
Hmm. At the mercy of a little bit of RNG, potentially. Meanwhile, for Wildcard, okay. They come in with the Doom pick to close out their lineup, so... Well, I was going to say that looked like an advantage for DogChamp, right? You have CK and Mars on the front line and a Tinker who is very rarely going to be sort of caught too far out. Wildcard now add a little bit of durability on their own side as well. And not just durability from the Doom, but Doom itself, right? If you could somehow hit one of those key targets, obviously the Tinker would be the best one, but any of the cores on the DogChamp side, and suddenly their team fight just kind of falls apart a little bit.
Yeah, and it moves the goalposts a little bit. I think that this is a slightly better lane and now moves that DP out of would have been the firing line that I think Yuma and
Hmm.
Bloody Nine would have looked to knock her down, but also gives you that late game security where all Sunlight needs to do is find the Tinker, and then the team fight is over, one, yada, yada, yada. Especially once Ags gets thrown into the mix, it is just a waiting game, basically. And I think that's where the Doom, you're really going to start to see his value. Not to mention, no matter how bad his lane goes, and we'll have to see, I'm not saying his lane will even go that bad, you're still Doom. You still end up third or fourth, probably even second highest net worth in the game out of pure virtue of Devour. It's still just kind of that broken aspect of the hero that hasn't gotten changed yet, because, you know, not a lot of stuff has changed. But I think, again, that security, that ease of execution, because all it takes is for him to simply find RCY, and then that's the game.
Well, one last match to determine which of these two teams moves on to phase 2. And, well, we do have a pause coming out here. Right at the start. No DC, so hopefully that means it's a relatively simple and short issue. You know, maybe somebody went to take a bathroom break during the draft. That seems to kind of happen quite a bit, ET, but whatever it is, hopefully we're not paused here too long.
Yeah, I feel like probably the most likely candidate would probably be like RCY is like, oh, we're picking ticket. I'll be. Doesn't matter, you know. Bloody Nine's got the rest of the draft. All he knows is that he's playing Tinker, as I think that's how most captains function usually. Let the player kind of know what's up. Maybe he has an opinion, but if you already picked his hero, you know he's got better stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be worse, and it looks like it will just be a short pause.
Yeah, DogChamp ready to go, so we're waiting on the all clear from Wildcard, and there it is. So, this third and final match about to get underway. We will see how these lanes play out here. Because as you mentioned, for Sunlight, well, if the lane goes well for him, he's in a great position. If the lane doesn't go well for him, he's in a good position anyway with the gold. So their Tricore maybe can do more with less space compared to the DogChamp side. Although, in fairness to DogChamp, technically speaking, only 2 of their cores need to farm. Italiano could do a lot with kind of the bare minimum in terms of net worth for himself.
Yep. All he really needs is early phase boots, early blink, and then that's pretty much it. Even though, as we've seen other Marses in this tournament, when you do struggle to get that initial burst of gold, whether because the lane ends up in kind of a sad state or you end up dying a few times, it can be a hard early press. But as long as he gets that, 14, 15 minutes into the game, DogChamp are going to feel happy, I think, with their situation. And then he can wait a little bit, because that is what DogChamp have crafted with this lineup. A lineup that just gets going, shouldn't have to worry about the global if all their spells are already cast on the ground. But it's those long team fights that they're going to have to be extremely wary of, where they will get caught in the power of heroes like the Death Prophet, like the Silencer, where you're just going to get kind of caught. You blow everything, you don't have anything left in the tank, and then you slowly but surely get run at and die.
Bounty runes end up being split 2 to each side. They basically swapped halves of the map, but not a whole lot comes of it. Samson, okay. Tries to get a little bit of battery assault damage in, and technically speaking, he does. Yaren gets hit up a little bit, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. They are switching up the way that they're laning a little bit. Yaren did take the techies, but he is going to head top. So the players are swapped on the heroes, perhaps, but the laning situation in terms of which hero goes where, I think, is what we expected, right?
Yeah, more or less. I think they want the Rubik Mars lane, especially in... Oh, look at bottom.
Man.
The body blocks. He just eats that full battery assault. Just caught in the wrong tree line. But that's why I think they do the switch up, is because they do dodge the Techies Drow matchup, and they do just give B9, I think, a better lane with Italiano. But that was really efficient from Wildcard.
Not the best sort of early battery assault play you could have hoped for there. And Italiano is going to start healing up, but that's pretty much all of his regen that's going to be gone. He'll use his last tango after this one wears off, and that's all they've got. On the other side, though, early push onto Sunlight. They're able to take him down, and now Flea may be in some trouble as well. Do they dive? No. They got the core kill. They'll be happy with that for the time being, and there's going to be your first blood play going into Yuma's hands.
Yep. CK, gotta love CK. As well as Yarn giving him a little bit more XP, and again,
Okay.
right back on to Sunlight. And now, I mean, he's got no armor. It's -4 with the Reality Rift. I think he's just gone. He's gonna dodge, but doesn't dodge fast enough. And your Doom has just exited the lobby.
Die, TP, die. Not a good look, and... Well, hey, we were talking about it. No matter how bad the lane goes, you've got Devour Gold, but... that was supposed to be on top of what he gets out of the lane, not to make up for not getting anything out of the lane.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. As well as Yuma just got to be able to pretty much get a full reset before he's really under too much pressure. Already getting points up in Chaos Strike, so... I mean, the game is just going to start to continue. Not to mention, small camp open. So if Yarn's just going to pull, get some XP, lets his carry heal up. Just great stuff. We need our Doom not to be level 1 anymore.
Yeah, that's not a recipe for success, and, no boots, and didn't want to use the Scorched Earth, or a Dust for that matter, even. I don't think he popped that either, so... A long walk of shame for Sunlight, but... pick yourself back up. Give it another go. Don't really have a choice, but the second he's back in lane, welcome to hell. This time around, though, he's a little bit beefier, and Yuma is the one who actually ends up falling low. Does he die to the DOT, though? No, he does not. And then over on the other side of the map, Samson, he just kept on trying over and over again onto Italiano. This time, though, they hit their mark.
Yeah, Arc does take a decent chunk of damage in walking through the creep waves to make sure that kill happens, but it still could be worse, and Arc is still having a real stable time right now. It really not under too much pressure. Oh, look at that. Nice little half pull from Samson. But now you actually have to be kind of careful here on the Drow. You got a double wave pushing into you. Italiano would love to get aggressive, but again, look at Samson. He's looking for heroes to branch off so you can get even more damage done with that battery assault. And it looks like that's what Italiano's gonna have to eat now, even though could just break the cogs and start walking away, but still, it's just chip, it's damage. While Arc gets extremely low, but is not going to be in kill threat. If B9 can actually find the angle with the zap, then that would be a big mistake from Arc, but isn't going to let it happen. Even the spear misses.
Oh, had the general area just a little bit off, but yeah, Arc doesn't get to have a whole lot of fun right now. Samson could pass him, I guess, a tango or two, and I believe he already did that once. So there is going to be some regen, but he's got to take a step back. At the same time, though, Sunlight gets hit again. Taken down again. Yuma doesn't die to the DOT, and this sticky bomb may finish the job. Nope, had some stick charges, so Flea will live, but no offense, Flea, we love you, but who cares? Sunlight dies a third time, so the lane just continues to spiral out of control.
Yeah, and they just have enough regen to stick around on both the CK and the Techies. Had to pass a salve off, which always feels a little bit sad nowadays, but it'll keep Yuma in the lane, even though we already see Flea as well, running back, trying to get more resources to throw into this lane. That's really the name of the game, is just throwing regen, just mana and HP at each other and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, so fighting across the side lanes, because down bot, they did make an attempt to go in there. Samson got off the cog play, but wasn't really enough for the kill. He's going to try it again, but Arc was kind of out of position here, so yeah, Samson goes down. Arc gets pushed back by the spear, and good instinct. They just weren't in position to actually take advantage of the initiation.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, damage traded onto heroes that Arc will just beat up. He's got a raindrop as well. Raindrop only has 2 more charges left, but has eaten so much damage from the spear, so many fade bolts. It's where really getting raindrop early feels so nice. Now B9, just the boots difference here, kind of making that happen. Just catches him off guard, as well as Italiano. He doesn't want to get forced into TP, but the multi-shot and one more hit. Italiano.
Unfortunate just choice, right? Trying to get into the tree line, trying to be sneaky, because I think he thought if he just walks back through the lane directly, he gets caught anyway, and fair enough, he probably could have. But speaking of getting caught, RCY, that's not where you wanted to be. He bottles the double damage rune, but Samson comes up behind him, and I mean, the impact that he's having on this Clockwork early on, ET, is far in excess of what I thought we were going to see from him.
Yeah, and speaking of RCY, he's kind of struggling, but yeah, Sunlight on the run.
Please, for your own mental health, please get out of here. This is risky.
They know he didn't walk out. He's...
At the same time, B9 does get taken down in the bottom lane, and they're looking for a little bit more as well. Italiano, momentarily sort of hit up by the cogs. Arc is coming in with those frost arrows, 3 points up in it, so Italiano really doesn't get to move. But now he's out of mana, pops the wand charges. Samson trying to absorb the tower shots, and he will give his life for the cause. Italiano goes down. They get the job done.
Yeah, real unfortunate as well. Didn't get the XP for the kill on the Clockwork, so still in kind of a sore sort here for the Mars. And no help from his support. Support had TP'd elsewhere. Yarn wasn't able to help out his teammate because his mid laner has lost his tower to the first exorcism of the game. RCY just got caught in the worst of ways. And again, I tried to bring it up earlier, but RCY is not having a great lane. Bobatich has just worked him.
He's got a bottle. That's it. That's the list. That's not great. So, well, we'll see what they can do to try and recover for him. Has B9 been stacking? Not really. Not a great time, but they'll have to find space for him somehow. Maybe, with the pressure Yuma and Yarn had been putting onto Sunlight, maybe that top lane or the north side jungle at least gets freed up in the near future, and that might be the road to recovery.
It certainly is going to be kind of a long while. But there's been no emphasis, no vision planted just yet by Samson, even though he's been hovering in and out of that dire triangle, but we'll have to see. I'm just watching bottom, just watching Arc right-click Italiano. It's kind of mean at this point, but without Arena, not even close to Arena on the Mars, Italiano doesn't really have a play right now. He really can't do very much.
Just got to play the waiting game as Samson makes his way over. Lift is gonna actually still allow him to get this cog trap, but Well, it's just harassment. Arc is unbelievably far away from that play, but this is not the way this is supposed to go. Samson is not supposed to be able to go in, cog trap 2, and then just walk away having done his chip damage. But they don't feel confident enough to fight, because if you do take that fight, you don't kill him fast enough before Arc gets involved.
And now look at this. Bobatich lets his presence be known top, moves in, has exorcism, just looking to knock down these towers, and there you go. Exo's committed, and this is a tower defense that I don't think we're going to see. The only way they try and defend this tower is if Italiano Gangster has Arena, they can get on top of the Death Prophet early, and they just kill her off before really any reaction can come out. Because this is where Flea doesn't have global yet. This would be your free play, but with how badly bottom has gone, there's no way for them to defend.
Well, now all that pressure, all the early kills you had gotten onto Sunlight, that's kind of wiped away. I mean, he's maxing, well, not quite maxed out yet, but close to maxing Devour, so his net worth is still 3rd overall, and you're the one who loses the tower in that lane. So I was talking about maybe sort of rotating the Tinker up there, ET, a minute or two ago. That's not really a safe option anymore.
Yeah, it just feels like they are starting to get outplayed a little bit by Wildcard, and just how Wildcard's lanes just felt stronger, just felt more robust. Bobatich just has Boots of Travel now. He's decided to create out entirely in his item build, so maybe that'll be a mistake, punishable in a little bit here. But in the meantime, nothing's really happening. We still are just kind of looking over at Italiano. He's the active one. He's the gamer. Your techies needs to wait for his Ag Shard. Yuma needs to wait for an armlet, some more farm. He's a CK. He doesn't want to partake in the game until he gets level 12, pretty much, where he's got more illusions. But in the meantime, your opponents are more active. They've got carts, and look at Italiano. He tried for the arena, and the arena will slow up these heroes enough for him to live, but look at the tower. Oh, and doesn't even walk out of that. That's so unfortunate.
Don't give up, guys. Don't give up. Well, he gets the kill with the damage over time. They can't really do anything to the tower afterwards, but that was not the intention, right? They wanted the kill. They get the kill. They get Arena on cooldown. At least Yuma's able to rotate in to kind of take this lane over and make sure that there's nothing else going on, but I mean, we recognize it, right? We knew Italiano had to be the focus, so do Wildcard, and honestly, if Italiano had just straight died there and maintained Arena, that almost would have worked out better, because now, until it's back up, there still is no play to be made.
No, they're just stuck waiting. They're stuck really waiting for the next exorcism to come through, and, well, maybe a play on the Samson. This is not bad, but Bobatich has Exo. He's got 3 siphons. If he wants to, I could honestly see him running into the entirety of DogChamp and DogChamp having to move. But instead, it looks like they're going to give a little bit of a concession here. Bobatich wants the 12-minute rune, so he's going to give away his bottom tower, but still a trade down the exchange. Wildcard are just going to take the rest of the map instead, say, okay, this is your free tower. We'll look for a play maybe instead. And they're looking to take the Ancient stack with this Exo. They've snuck behind DogChamp.
Oh, man. Tinker was already having a bad time. If the full stack gets taken right out from under his nose, I don't really know what your plan is beyond that point, other than just sending him somewhere else. They've sent him top for now, but I think the worst part about this is they don't even know that it's being taken. In fact, they're trying to deal with Samson here. They will get him, but Yarn goes down, and Bobatich still has maybe a second or two left on the Exo. No, it's coming back to him now, but that means he's healed up, and it's time to go. DogChamp have to fall back. B9, though, doesn't make it out. Italiano slowed, taken DOT, and finished off by the Death Prophet. So the same Exo gets them the full Ancient stack ET and 3 kills afterwards in the last couple of seconds of that fight in the river.
Yeah, and Italiano was fine, but just decides to pop down an arena, thinks they can fight, and now you don't have arena despite your opponents not having global. So you're not going to see that revenge play come through. It's where I think DogChamp are just going to be stuck waiting and farming. Farming versus heroes like the Death Prophet and the Doom, who are just looking for BKBs next. They're looking to invalidate your lineup. And then you look at DogChamp and you say, okay, well, if they have BKBs and they're immune to all of our magic damage, then what's our damage? It's just CK. it's just Yuma. Everything is going to be up to Yuma in this game.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even taking into account the fact that we're still looking for the Tinker to kind of catch back up here, so... Man, things have really gone downhill fast for DogChamp. Not that it's not salvageable, but they are walking a very fine line at this point. As Flea says, nope, nobody gets to have that rune. Takes the invis away. How long for his global? 40 seconds out, so... Oh, they're going to look to make something happen. And at this point, I also want to check in on the Doom. Sunlight closing in on his BKB. It does still mean he has slight issues initiating, right? Not really a Blink Dagger or anything like that. But if any other person is capable of having the lockdown in place, Sunlight BKBs, he walks in, and there's literally nothing DogChamp can do to avoid someone being doomed.
No, it's not the position you want to be in. And yeah, again, bottom. It's not even Italiano's fault, truly. He has to get his Blink bottom. This is where he farms. This is where the Mars plays. It's just slow. It's broken open. It's where he has no TP, no friends, nobody coming over. His allies were trying to set up and move across the map, maybe seeing if they could get the Doom off guard, but Sunlight just farms the wave and pushes back, and now Sunlight's got a full BKB, going back for Arcane Boots, probably into a Blink Dagger and an Octarine Core, but he's just fine. And RCY,
The supports,
oh, not like this.
The supports just hunted a Tinker. That can't happen. That straight up can't be allowed. They're going to get some sort of revenge here onto Flea. Maybe they can catch Samson as well, but... I mean, they did their job. They can both die. It doesn't matter. They got the Tinker dead. Bobatich kind of came in and helped out, right? So let's, you know, sort of bring it back to reality a little bit there. But the fact that they could push that far forward really kind of tells you where we're at right now, though. Italiano finally getting down a good, solid arena, but they don't have the damage because the Tinker's dead. And they're going to lose too much. Italiano goes down. Yuma tries to turn. Looking to get onto Arc. They are locking him down for a bit. Can he get the TP off? No, he can't. And they swing it their way at the last possible second there, ET, but now Samson wants in. There's going to be the hook shot connecting onto Yuma. Traps him up inside the cogs. Sunlight is coming. Yeah, needs to actually cut his way into the fight first, but once he does, Yuma gets picked off, and all of a sudden it's back to being a wildcard victory.
Yeah, and a wildcard victory that didn't involve Sunlight until the end there, and it is curious to see the Doom not partaking in that fight initially, just because, well, he's got everything. We haven't seen a Doom yet in this game. I think Sunlight's kind of raring to go, but Will just decided to back off and keep on farming instead, but at the very least for DogChamp, you still get the Drow. The Drow kill really makes that only half as bad of a play, and you do get your opponent's abilities used out of them. It's where there's going to be maybe a 15-second window for Italiano to get an arena where you'll have his allies to help him. I think a lot of that gold also ended up falling into Yaren's pocket, so Shard for the Techies is also online, but now it's just a matter of what DogChamp can do with their next spike. Just got the Blink Dagger finished on Italiano. They have the Shard on Techies. This is where they need to smoke, find a core pick. Probably not on Arc, just because he's probably going to be farming a little bit too far back. But you can find, let's say, Bobatich right before he gets his BKB. That'd be massive.
Big opportunity here, although with how close Bobatich is, yeah. The BKB is going to get to him before they really have a chance. And now middle lane, Yaren. Well, he gets picked off. I don't know if Wildcard clicked on him or not, so maybe they killed him so fast they don't know that he has Shard. I don't really know how much of a benefit that truly is, but they do end up getting their support picked off. RCY was even sort of scouted out a little bit there in the top lane, but blinks, he TPs, he makes his way home. But with Tinker off the field, Roche is open, and they do this pretty quickly.
Yeah. Feels a lot cleaner than the first game with Death Prophet. They're just able to move across these objectives very effortlessly. Not too much of a contest that can happen either, but the name of the game is Italiano. It is what this Mars is going to find. And look bottom, they're trying to get a play going onto Samson, but no, Yuma pops the Phantasm. It's going to end up into a just farming Phantasm. Samson has Force Staff as well, so that is not an easy Clockwork kill. And they also get to see the ward here, so they know exactly what DogChamp's play is. It would just be a mistake for them to get caught at this point from Wildcard. Should probably just go for the dodge instead.
Yeah, they're just kind of backing out, establishing some vision further back, so If DogChamp try to push up for more, they'll have vision on him as Flea got his hands on the mech, so that answers that question, right? Of, you know, who that mech carrier was going to be. Honestly, it could have been Sunlight or Bobatich, but they want their BKBs. They want, in the Doom's case, that Blink Dagger that's now blah, 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 finished up. Wow. But Flea's still able to pick it up. He's got the Philosopher's Stone, which kind of does a lot of the heavy lifting there.
Yeah.
Nice. Some lag coming out there. They claimed that they were going to have a play onto RCY, and yeah, banter or no banter, I think actually it might have been true. He had the blink, but RCY lives to see another day. Should get himself out of here.
Yeah, you know, it's semantics. Semantics. Maybe it's a kill, maybe it's not a kill, who knows, but definitely unfortunate, because that's also where Samson decided to rocket flare as opposed to immediately looking for the contest onto this bottom vision. So who knows? But is one of the issues of having online tournaments, you know, the server, you live by the server, you die by the server.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but hey, you pause, you get things sorted out. Hopefully too many of those plays don't happen as Arc. Yeah, that's a weird one. Just kind of walks into two, but pops the gust, walks away. Down in the bottom lane, though, there's going to be the initiation. They drop the arena, but there's that global silence. Flea says, no fight for you. Samson, though, wants it. Oh, man. Cancels the TP with the hook shot. Italiano just... man, it's a rough game for him, and it's just getting rougher despite the fact that he finally has the blink. He just gets completely shut down.
Yeah, nice mind, though, there from Yaren. Will give Yuma the early signal that there are heroes moving over. Yaren, though, will get caught regardless. Doesn't have the hoof stomp, but it's enough magic damage. Isn't able to dive away from that one. And, well, Bobatich has his ulti. Exorcism's online. Arc is leaving, though. He's saying, okay, let's play this a little bit slower. I got 3 more minutes of my Aegis. I'm going to farm out top. There's a massive wave. And it looks like they're going to change their focus and maybe go for this top tier 2 instead. It makes it a little bit easier for them to actually get into that outpost area. But heroes are also still poised. They're kind of poised in no man's land, though. And there's the Doom.
Oh, they're going to try to kill Samson. Can they get him, though? No, they can't. Yuma cannot afford to push forward because the Doom's on him, so he's dead. Missile did not target Samson either, so they get nothing. Samson misses his hook shot at least, so they should be able to pull back, but they thought that they had an opening ET here, right? They know that the Drow is not there, but at the same time, neither is RCY, so you're missing a lot of your damage.
Yeah, no, it's definitely awkward, as well as they're going to get shoved off this building. Doom has showed bottom. The Drow, of course, had TP'd top a few seconds earlier. Even though they get a kill onto Yuma, they don't get the immediate objective. Is a little bit peculiar. Feels like Wildcard are trying to play in all 3 lanes right now, which gives their opponents an opportunity to fight back. Because they also know there's no Doom right now. They're kind of getting walked at and walked out of their own jungle. Bloody 9 is just kind of steering them away, and it's working. Even though right now, B9 has to force staff himself away, but Arc, oh, what a force staff. Piked himself to the low ground.
Perfectly timed. If he's 1 second late there, then he pushes really right into the wall of the arena. So Arc gets away, and Italiano, I mean, it feels kind of like bullying at this point, but he just continues to not have a fun time.
It is unfortunate, but he is kind of the throwaway core at this stage of the game. And we are still waiting. Yuma's looking for his BKB. RCY doesn't even have his Shiva's card yet. We haven't even gotten to the DogChamp timing, where they get to actually play the heroes that they've drafted in this game. Even though mid, it looks like they tried for something, but even just killing Samson feels so difficult in this game. There's always the threat. There's the mech on Flea. There's the global. If somebody is actually looking to die, it's so easy for any hero in this game to just simply global TP out. It's kind of gross. And then look top, Sunlight just finds the pick with Arc. Easy kill on a B9.
So DogChamp got to be careful, though, because this is going to be a pincer maneuver. They're coming around the backside. Italiano's going to get hit up first. caught out, silenced up, taken down. Rest of the lineup kind of still stuck in no man's land here. Yaren did not leave the jungle. Yuma's at least able to TP away, but well, that's how one kill turns into 2 or 3 there. They just kind of don't respect Wildcard's ability to keep pushing forward.
Yep, and they're going to start flaring out the waves. They're going to move in onto the tier 2. And even though the Aegis is gone, Wildcard have basically everything. And even the kill into Italiano there, it's just them retreating away from Vision. Vision that doesn't get dewarded, gets kind of moved past by Bloody 9, and then the ward dies, so you won't even get that deward gold. Just Wildcard outplaying their opponents a little bit here. And DogChamp also having a very passive lineup, so it's not helping them out. They're having to wait for a lot of their game to begin. Even though Yuma disassembled his Echo Saber, so he's got that BKB, but we still need to see a successful team fight. They've got a smoke in mid as well. Italiano wants something, but you're fighting Wildcard at their strongest. They have literally every spell, every ultimate, every BKB. This is a very tough fight. They need to find a pick.
They did just pop a scan on the high ground, so they know someone's up there. They're not changing course yet, which means Samson is able to get in, but they make the jump first. There's that global, though. It's going to really break this up. No, it is not. They don't care. Yuma with the BKB just kept on going. They take the Death Prophet down. They want a little bit more. Samson pulled out of his own cogs. They'll take him out as well. And DogChamp, I mean, they really needed that. And ET, I think the most important aspect, they do that with RCY, just kind of clearing out the creep wave. So they are finally starting to show us RCY's presence is not necessary for them to take engagements. This Italiano, oof, very nearly taken down before he TP's home, but that's something they desperately needed.
Nope, certainly is. A lot of gold, but also perfectly chained up there. They need the blast off into the abilities, and then a kill like that can actually happen. It's also where they caught both the silencer and the clock just a little bit too far away, because clock had to go for the counter initiation. Flea got the global off, but wasn't in range for the mech, so they found their really just kind of thread the needle pick there. But Wildcard want revenge. They didn't really use all too much. They've got global up in 15 seconds. They would love for Sunlight to break open a play. He also has a full Octarine core, so any Doom that lands isn't really going to be that long of a cooldown either. But here we go. Pushing into the jungle, trying to get behind DogChamp yet again and cut them off. Meanwhile, the rest of the lineup, yeah, killing Italiano. Real cheap kill as well. Only had to use a hoof stomp.
B9 got his hands on the Crypt Swarm. Samson just hooked, and he hooks in onto Yarn. They're going to take that kill. Yuma now in some trouble, trying to fight his way through this, but he's doomed, so his BKB is useful, but not really enough to survive. And, well, if it had just been Italiano Gangster, we would have probably made another joke about him dying again, and that would have been the end of it. But losing Yuma and now losing control of this north side jungle on top of it, ET, it's really going to be rough for DogChamp to bounce back from that.
Oh, it does not feel nice. And okay, B9 kind of chancing it a little bit, but now that all of the ultimates are used, this is where DogChamp have maybe a minute timing for them to find a rebuttal play. One that they'll have to do again with the inconvenience of global silence that will come through to try and mess up their chain stun. But it's really the best thing they can look for. Or they could just go full mode, we're waiting. Because RCY is looking for BKB, a BKB that is still coming. That could be their next moment. I just have this sour feeling that they wait too long, and RCY, well, got clockworked.
Yeah, Samson just barely able to get the vision, use the jetpack, the flare, and it works out. They even drop a Tinker Ward as he leaves, so they find the kill onto RCY. They're going to have the vision on him again if the Tinker tries that play, and well, I mean, this is one of the great benefits of the Clockwork, right? They did pick it first phase, so they may not have entirely anticipated what was coming their way, but it works out perfectly.
Oh, and right now, DogChamp have done a good job. They've got this little outcrop. That's unfortunate, though. Yarn misses the blast off. He's going to have to walk out of these cogs. I think Samson's got at least that kill, but now B9. Don't know how you walk out of this one, and all of this vision they've placed bottom is going to get dewarded. The stolen cogs, though, okay. They do allow him to walk away, but I still don't think that changes the fact that this bottom lane, it's kind of a no-go zone. They kind of know it's a no-go zone as well. And there's a Tinker ward.
Okay.
Okay.
Goes for the D-ward, but while he's dewarding, his teammates are trying to fight. Yuma wants the engagement, but...
Oh, no.
Oh, the Doom. He's going to cancel his TP. He just has to stand and fight. He won't last long. Yuma's gone. B9 taken out. RCY, does he get home safely? Not sure yet. He's going for the TP now. Can Sunlight spot him? No. So, crossed wires, I guess is the way that we'll say that, right? The Tinker goes to D-ward. Not a bad strategy at all, but at the same time, Yuma going for the kill is kind of greedy.
Yeah, and now they're going to immediately scout out that Roche is alive. They've got a DD run as well. Italiano Gangster gets pinged out, and I think, yeah, Arctus ends up going back to the pit. His teammates got the Mars handled. Italiano's just stuck, unable to go anywhere. But even with all of the chaos happening bottom, Italiano wasn't able to get with his team at all. He was pushing out top. He was trying to get some farm for his own. It just feels like DogChamp are very split with their shot calling in this game. And now, well, a Roche that they would like to contest, absolutely no shot. Nothing they can do.
And it does kind of slow down a little bit there towards the back end, but still able to pick it up. Roshan goes down. Aegis into Ark's hands. Flea will hold the shard. Does he actually want it for himself, though? He has slotted it into the inventory, so... I don't know. Silencer shard is... It's useful, but, like... Every fourth attack is kind of awkward, but hey. Ark already had his. I think, actually, pretty much everyone. Yeah, actually everyone had theirs already, so... He's the last man in line. It's his time for the shard upgrade. Ark, though, getting into trouble, and, well, there's your first life gone already. Can they set up on him again, though? Global Silence, used preemptively. Samson gonna hookshot his way in. Yuma's in some trouble, trapped up inside the cogs. BKB was activated, though, so he's not dead immediately, but, well, he's still dead. Just takes a couple extra seconds. Meanwhile, on the backline, Sunlight, well, dropped the Doom onto the Tinker. It cost him his life, but said Tinker will die. And Italiano Gangster is just desperately trying to get back into the base. Samson, though, 4 staffs in front of him. Not going to be able to close the gap. But they do at least push DogChamp away, so... Well, I don't know. It wasn't the cleanest... Cleanest play in the world, but... Wildcard still take the fight. It cost them Sunlight and their Aegis, but they're onto the high ground.
Yeah, and they don't have Exo, so it's all Ark's damage at this point, but yeah, they just got caught. Their hand in the cookie jar. Thought they could maybe set up with the Mars on Ark's second life, but then the fight just blows up in their face. And even though Sunlight makes a really ugly play, it doesn't feel good, him diving into 3 heroes underneath the tier 2, trying to find the Doom onto the Tinker, but he still gets the Tinker, and that's all that matters. He's locked out of the fight, he dies, trades his life, but it stops RCY from having any effect on the game and getting closer towards this BKB. So really, you couldn't ask for a better situation. At least DogChamp lost the mid racks, so it's not like they're going to get pressured to either side of the map. Mid is probably the easiest lane to deal with when you are supered, but DogChamp still kind of need a miracle at this point. They need some net worth, they need some help, they need any successful initiation. I mean, 32k net worth. Wildcard just going to keep on farming. There's no real reason for them to stop.
I want to ask you something here as we take a look. He just added a Bloodthorn to his quick buy, but for Yuma, last couple times out, you know, you could maybe make the excuse of, oh, you know, Sunlight's dooming him up a lot. That's why this is happening like this. But in that last fight, as I'll get back to that point in a second, Samson's in some trouble here. He is getting jumped in on, but Bobatich is there to help. They're going to be able to drop the global. The BKB is up on the Death Prophet, and they're pushing their way forward. Doom was applied to Yuma, so he's not going to be able to just contribute at all to this fight, and... Oh, this is not a fight. This is just a straight-up rout, as Yuma will fall, and... ET, that leads me back into the question. Doom or no Doom? Yuma's just dying too damn fast. Is there a way for him to even fix that?
I think at this point, you would want an AC, you would want an overwhelming blink, you'd want anything. But I think sadly there might not be enough time, and tier 4 is, they're going for it. There is Glyph, and Glyph will certainly try and stall up something, but I don't know if this is gonna be enough. Of course, there you go. There's the glyph. 10 seconds left for the majority of DogChamp to actually respawn. And Fountain Tinker is annoying. The Death Prophet's getting low, but both tier 4 is dead. Ark's gonna full heal off this. And sure, maybe they waste a little bit of time there, but the name of the game still hasn't changed. DogChamp need to find a fight, and they need to find a fight soon, but unfortunately, Wildcard just have these heroes with these great talents where Doom is up in 14 seconds, Global is up in now. All of these talents have just turned these heroes into
Oh, the
monsters, and
global.
RCY, he's got a TP, and he will be out. Okay.
That, I mean, if he dies there, that could just straight up have been the game as Babitich. Whoops. He was actually caught in the trees there. He could have waited for his blink. He decides to just TP instead because level 2 bots, right? There's your luxury. He can just afford to TP whenever he wants. What is going on here, though? Yuma just popped Phantasm.
Oh, no.
That's not good. That's just awful. Samson hook shots in. Rubik did not steal the hook. He only steals a battery assault, but the important thing is that Yuma stays alive here. But with Art coming back over, who knows if he actually does live or not. B9 is going to go down. Italiano Gangster's in some trouble. He drops the arena for basically no purpose there as he still dies, and there's your GG. They're not even going to play out the lives of the Tinker and the CK. They just recognize there's nothing left.
Yeah. The game just got too difficult too quickly. RCY catastrophically loses his lane here in elimination. Just got worked by Babitich, loses his tower 7 minutes into the game, doesn't get to play that defense style that we're used to seeing. He ends up without a job. He ends up with a lot of farm either. But the rest of wildcard lanes are also fine. And of course, Sunlight, guy who starts the game 0-3, basically, is still Doom. Still is third net worth in the game. Still has Max Devour. It doesn't matter. It just ends up not mattering. And then the team fight becomes so difficult for DogChamp to actually execute. Italiano's game goes so horribly, and I mean, he's got the most deaths on his team. They just couldn't do anything to save this Mars. It just felt like he was the one that had so many roles he had to fulfill, roles that Yuma, unfortunately, weren't able to really help him out with either. We never even saw the CK get to look at an item like the Blink Dagger to try and shore up their initiation problems. Just simply felt like DogChamp were outclassed here, which is sad. And this is the worst placement DogChamp have gotten a BTS Pro Series in a very long time. But that's something we knew coming into this series of elimination, right? Both Wildcard and DogChamp would have taken an early exit. Both orgs that have competed and have been very competent in these tournaments. But still, sad to see him go.
Very sad for DogChamp, and unfortunately, I think the worst part is that it basically mirrored what happened in the series earlier on against Dreamers, right? Where they were looking pretty good. It goes to a third game. You have RCY on a hero that you expect him to do well with, and then he just gets pressured, thrown off his game, tilted, whatever phrase you want to use. And obviously, RCY going 0-4 was not even the biggest issue for DogChamp in this game, but the guy you would look at to be that stabilizing presence was struggling just as heavily.
Yeah, I think, DogChamp, not like they're not gonna be busy. They've got Div 2 to look forward to now, and they're just not gonna be double dipping into this tournament. But I think for them, just time to focus up now. They looked like they probably would have been able to qualify for this tournament, but at least they've got something else to maybe clear their heads and get this game out of their bodies, because they've got Div 2 to look forward to, and much luck to them there.
Yeah. Good luck on the pro circuit, and congratulations now to Wildcard. It may not have been the smoothest of sailing, but they move on to phase 2. They'll be involved in that group stage. One of just now 2 NA squads, I think, in that group. So they do make it. They get, I think, maybe a couple of days off here before their schedule gets underway, but they have made it over the hump. The question now, ET, will be who joins them. There is one slot left here, one last series in phase 1. It is going to be a matchup between Ravens and Alpha, and that one really is right around the corner here. We're going to be trying to just hop into it as quickly as we can. So before we go to that break, ET, Ravens, Alpha, what are you looking at in terms of the narrative there?
Well, and we've talked about this privately, but really, I've got no clue. I don't know who's showing up in the lobby, as far as I know, with Alpha, removing and adding maybe 3 players to their team. and Ravens slowly but surely losing one of these or one of their players each day. So really, hands are in the air. I have no clue. I'm just excited to see who joins up into those lobby slots. So we'll see. So no comment.
Yeah, no
No
idea
idea.
who's going to show up. Fair enough. But we will have that answer for you hopefully pretty soon here because we are going to be getting that second series underway just as quickly as we can. So we will be taking another break. When we return, the Game 1 draft between Ravens and Alpha. So stick around. We'll be back in a bit.